Hi friends, today's video I want to talk to you guys about what the cash envelope system is. I recently just did a YouTube video on a cash envelope refresher, and I'm actually going to do another video for Instagram. So on Sunday, I posted a video on budget planners, and I shared the dated planner and the undated planner. And so I wanted to share with you the differences between the two planners, okay? Step 2, I always stress to people the first thing is making sure that you obtain your budget planner. But number 2, it is learning the cash envelope system. So when I was back when I started my journey, I learned the cash envelope system. I said to myself, there's got to be something out there that can help me with my budgeting. What can I do? How can I get ahead? And I heard of cash envelopes, and I did my research, and I watched videos, and etc., and I continued. So it is definitely a system that has been around for a very long time. It's been around so long that people used to use the paper envelopes, like the regular envelopes that you get at the Dollar Tree. So this is nothing new. This is a system that is effective, and it's proven to be effective only because even myself as a witness and actually using the system, I can definitely say that it works if you apply it correctly. And that is the key words. If you're doing it correctly, it will work for you. So let me jump into exactly what the cash envelope system is. It is a budgeting system where it allows you to budget in these categories a certain amount of money, and in doing so, you're using cash. So you're budgeting in only these categories here by using cash only. So you take your money out and you stuff the envelopes, right? Then when payday comes, or you go do your errands and you do the things that you need to do, and you're going to use cash. So that's the difference. It is using cash only. So this allows you to stay below your budget, versus if you didn't use cash and you were to use your debit card, you would simply go to the store and you would swipe, and you probably wouldn't have really an idea of how much you're spending or that budget. A lot of people might not, I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people will just go to the grocery store and get what they need and swipe and really not have a plan in place. And I think that ultimately, in order for you to be successful, you have to have a plan in place. You need to be in control of your money. Don't have your money be in control of you. And so what I mean by that is there's simple steps that you can take for you to make this easy, like meal planning and going through your cabinets, just your basic overview of going through to see what you have, to see what you need, what are you planning to make this week. So these are some of the things that you want to do before you go to the grocery store. So back to cash envelopes. When you are using the cash envelope system, you are taking money out of the bank and you're filling these envelopes, and that is all you're using. Now, the rest of my money stays in my checking account. I do have my debit card, but if you plan correctly and you stuff these bad boys really, really good, and you plan effectively, and you use this miscellaneous envelope to the best of your ability. And I have YouTube videos to share with you how I actually really utilize this miscellaneous envelope. You can be very successful, and you can literally lower your budget and be able to save in other areas. So you're able to lower your budget that you typically would be spending. That money could be applied towards debt. It could be applied towards your emergency fund or a savings or other goals that you might have. So the first thing you want to do is you have your 6 categories, which are the basic categories: groceries, household, eating out, gas, beauty, and miscellaneous, okay? You can add extras later. The extras, we are going to call those sinking funds. But right now, we are focusing just strictly on cash envelopes. These are your cash envelopes, okay? They're called variable cash envelopes because they can vary every week, week to week, depending on what you need. So the first one's groceries. The first step for groceries is figuring out how much you spend every week. And this is a question that you have to ask yourself. There's no rule to how much you spend every week on groceries because it all depends on your family size and your dynamics. You might have one person might have a whole family, so one income versus two. So it just depends on your situation. So the question is that you want to ask is how much do I typically spend on groceries every week or bi-weekly? So if you can answer that question, great. We move on to the next. If you can't answer that question, that is when it's time to do the highlighter method. And doing the highlighter method, it's very, very easy. You're basically printing out your bank statement, you're grabbing some highlighters, a set of highlighters, and then you're going to go through your bank statement and highlight pink for all of the times that you went to the grocery store. Once you're done, you add that up. So now you can see how much this is a rough idea. So now you can see how much you spend for the full month on groceries. Now you can divide that by 4 weeks, and that is going to be your estimate to how much you spend per week. Okay, so that is an exercise I want you to do. This is a great eye opener because not only can you highlight all of your grocery runs, but you should pick another color and highlight all of the times that you eat out, all the times you did online shopping, and etc. Because this is a way for you to be able to see how much you're actually spending in these areas. Okay. A lot of times we don't know because we are so busy using and swiping. We have no idea how much we're spending, and we're probably overspending so much more than we should, right? Okay, so that is step number one. Basically, just going through, you have your 6 categories. You're going to figure out how much your grocery is. You're going to take that money out. Again, you're moving on. Household is the same. It's kind of like your partner to your groceries, but the household is your laundry detergent, toothpaste, toilet paper, all of those accessories. You still want to figure out how much you typically spend every week in this area. Eating out is the same. So a lot of people might grab a coffee in the morning. They go to work and they might buy lunch. Maybe they grab a coffee after work, and then they go out on the weekends and then they eat a lot and they spend a lot more money than they probably should on eating out. So this is a number one envelope that is actually spent the most. So this is another big one that you should really take a look at. So what happens is when you set yourself a budget and you sit there and you say, you know what, this week we're only spending $40 on eating out this week. Do you know how much money you could actually save? Do you? So if you set it, you put the money in here, that is what you're using. I know $40 is very, very cheap, but I'm just giving you guys an example. So that is what you really want to do. You just kind of want to go through how much gas do you spend every week? I spend $40 every week on gas. So I would take that out and fill it up. Beauty is not just for your nails. Beauty is everything that is for you. Anything self-care is beauty. Hair, nails, buying yourself clothes, buying yourself makeup, whatever your form of beauty is, this is the envelope, okay? This is you. This is about you right here. This is you. And so you can stuff it as much as you need, or, you know what your hobbies are and what you need to do for yourself. So that's for you. Now, miscellaneous is the big one that I personally love, and this is what allowed me to get ahead. Because it's called miscellaneous, that is exactly what it is. It is a miscellaneous envelope for you to use for whatever you choose to use. Now, if you fill this up, so for me, I like to have $300 in here running. I like to have the running envelope with money in here because when I need it and I need to get something, it's almost like a buffer between your bank account, okay? You're using your card with your bank account. So now you're using the miscellaneous. So like if your daughter says, oh, I want to go to the mall, I really need a pair of sneakers. You can, if you did not have that in the budget, this is where this is going to come into place for those type of surprise shopping sprees, or, maybe we feel under the weather today and we really just want to go to Target to buy some new stuff for the house. This is your envelope. If you can somehow try to add money every week and try to get ahead without touching it, this is going to be a great envelope that will really, really help you. And try to keep like $300 in here, and you'll feel so good. Trust me when I tell you it works. I I remember when I was working my corporate job and I literally said to myself, how can I get ahead? And this is what I thought of. I thought of it and I never looked back, and I actually teach other people to do the same thing. So if you fill this up, fill it up as much as possible. Hey, if you have $500, so be it. The more you have in your miscellaneous, the better. Now, this binder stays at the house. You keep your binder at home, but you also want to have a on-the-go wallet. So I basically have the same one, but I'm actually using the classic binders. That is my wallet. So I have the same envelopes that are in here. I have the same set in my on-the-go wallet. So what I do is when I'm ready to plan my, like you can have a couple dollars in your on-the-go wallet. You don't need to carry everything with you because a lot of people might get scared of that. That's okay. Keep your binder at home, but take what you need. Like if you needed gas, you can fill up your, your gas envelope. If you grab coffee on a regular, or you needed some extra, fill your eating out. You can even grab a couple dollars from your groceries. You can fill it when you're ready to do your groceries, or if you just need to have some extra to make sure you have it. And then always make sure that you have miscellaneous. So even if you have $100, you can leave the rest. If you have a lot more in that envelope, leave the rest at home. But the fact is, when you plan your trip, it's going to be so much easier for you because you can just grab what you need, you put it in your on-the-go wallet, and you go. So the most important thing when you're using cash envelopes is that when the money's gone out of the envelope, it's gone. Okay, this is what is allowing you to stay under budget. Okay, I'll repeat that again. So if you have $150 for groceries, right now it looks like I have $100. You have $100. I go to the grocery store today. I use all of this. Today's Monday. I don't have any more, so I need to make this work. This is all I have for my budget. Okay, you have to make it work until you get paid again, which is on Friday, which I'm pretty sure you can, right? So it's Monday, we get paid Friday again. So once this is gone, it's gone. You can't just go to the grocery store in 2 more days and be like, all right, I'm gonna go spend another $100. No. So when the money's gone, it is gone. And that is what allows you to get ahead. And so you do the same concept for all of the envelopes. And it's really a game changer. In fact, if you continuously do this and you are super consistent with it, you're going to get better and better at it. And you're going to see how you're even going to, you're even going to challenge yourself by saying, all right, let's see how low we can actually get this grocery bill. This week, I only want to spend $120 instead of $150. So you can do these type of things, however you can lower your bill is going to benefit you, because that is how you get ahead. That's why your money's still staying in your checking account. Does that make sense? So you're leaving your money there. So you're literally just taking out what you need and what you're budgeting. But when it's gone, it's gone. So now you're not going to use your debit card. So this is what allows you to get ahead. I hope that makes sense. I hope I make sense. I hope I explained it. I know that I explained it in less than 13 minutes, but I think it's very, very important for people to really understand how to use cash envelopes. Now, another thing you can do, you can borrow from your envelopes. So for example, if you have no money in groceries, let's say you don't have any money in your groceries, but you have $100 in your eating out. And you want to go to the grocery store where you're like, oh shoot, I don't have any more money, but you know what? I'm going to use my eating out money. Absolutely, you can do that. The point is that we do not want you using your debit card, and that is really the moral of everything. So you can borrow from the other envelopes, and you don't have to pay it back. You can just take it. But if you take it out of your eating out and now you want to go eat, you don't have money. So you can't, okay? So that is what cash envelopes that's what cash envelopes are. It is a system that allows you to only use cash. So once you figure out what your budget is for these categories, you're just using cash. And when the money's gone, it's gone. and then you wait till payday and you do it again. And then you do it again this week, then you wait till payday and you stuff them again. You go to the bank, you take the money out, you put them in here. It's a great challenge. It's a great way to stay under budget. And I cannot stress to you how much money you can actually save by doing this. So I hope today's video was very, very helpful. Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And I hope that if you haven't tried cash envelopes, please give it a try. I actually